Alright guys, this is something much different than what we normally do. Nothing about this is related to paintball at all. I'm almost not even sure why I'm filming this other than I'm working on it and it might just be a good opportunity. This is a box, as you can see. I constructed this whole box out of scrap plywood and some other things. That's an oak piece there. And the whole idea is the entire box is held together by just glue and wood joints. Not the best wood joints ever, but it's scrap plywood, and I made these dovetailed miter joints, I guess they're called, on a table saw. So, good as it gets. And what is this box for? Well, it's to put a computer fan in. And again, want to construct the whole thing without any kind of metal fastening component. And that was just for a weird reason, but computer fan is ungainly weighted with magnets. That is for a magnetic stir plate for a pending task. But this is my box. The construction is all glue, all wood, and this is just a junky fan that I have, but I set it up so I can put that fan in and pin it in place with that. So this can't go anywhere, even though this wants to vibrate a lot because the fan is not very well balanced with a bunch of magnets glued onto it. So now the goal is to wire this thing up fully to the way it is. I bought this little potentiometer controller for fan controller off of Amazon. It won't fit in this box now the way it is. So I broke it apart, and I'm kind of glad I did, because a little sketchy looking. Some of the things aren't awesome, but that's a little 6-volt voltage regulator there. This is a potentiometer. You go from 6 volt to 12 volt. Couple resistors. And that's all that's on it, but it's pretty poorly made for having so little components be part of it. So we are going to take this apart and refit it into here. Additionally, I'm planning on using just one of my angel plugs for it to power this thing on. We have to glue that in. We have to wire that in. This is a 3 amp automotive fuse that I am planning on just gluing in here and soldering the hot lead to it just to serve a 3 amp blow. So this is 0.65 amps. If this fan ever dies, we'll get to 3 amps. I'm using wire that's going to be adequately thick to take that kind of temperature or that kind of heat that's going to draw before it blows this fuse if it gets that far. My smart charger should theoretically knock it off before then anyway. But we will go from there, and we have some work to do, a little bit of soldering to do, and some work like that. And I figured I might as well try to film this. I drilled all my holes. One of these is going to be for my power button. The other one is going to be for the potentiometer. I put them on top because if this thing starts moving around, which it can, I want extra shit in the way to try to hold it in place a little better. I glued a couple O-rings to the bottom of it, try to help it. I glued a couple O-rings to his feet here, just try to dampen some of the vibration a little bit. Try to balance the fan a little bit, but that's not going anywhere. At least not the way I can do it. So we got some wiring to do. First, let me just make sure I'm not losing my mind. I think the big one's positive, the little one's negative. Yep. So, that's good. So we're going to wire this somewhere in there like that. We're going to glue it in. We're just going to glue everything in place. No nails, no screws, no metal. My theory was to fuck up the magnetism less, or give the magnet less things to draw against, which I guess is a fine theory. Does it actually do anything? No idea. But yeah, I mean, this box itself is made of wood, obviously. Plywood for the most part, but it's could have easily been 3D printed if I wanted to spend that much time waiting on something to print versus just building it. And that will go like that, get glued on, and we will go from there to, that is the power switch there. This thing's a little on the tricky side. Let me just make sure I'm doing this correctly. There's a positive. There. This is supposed to be the negative. Volts. Good. So that's a hot straight across, and that's a ground straight across. Okay. And yeah, so that would be positive, that would be negative. Let's break into this potentiometer. Positive is tying into this top one right up here. Negative is going through and doing its own shit. This one ties right to there. So let me try to desolder this stuff a little bit. Keeps dying on me. I have no idea why. Fucking. Probably out of memory. None of this is getting recorded or some shit like that. It's most likely what's happening. But let's just do that. So we're just hooking everything up tightly. Getting rid of that big board. Hopefully, I didn't screw anything up, and it's all gonna function still. Which, you know, have my doubts. A lot of manipulation here, but we turn that whole board into this on piece assembly right here. That's got a lot of airflow now. slips in pretty good. There, I'm pretty happy with that. Plenty of room. Not really touching anything. It's all wood anyway, which is pretty good. Let's grab the fan. Turn you on. I mean, let's see if it works. If I plug it in, and we'll go from there. Top that off before I burn myself. Oh. Well, I'm getting light. Maybe my charger is not going to work. I need to use... I'll have to modify something to be a little more constant source. Full blast. Okay. So, let's get rid of that charger and use the one that came with this little set. And we will toss one of our ends on it. This is a constant voltage charger, I guess. Figure out which one's which. Let's say white's probably ground. Yep. White's ground. Red's hot. This one. And we'll strain relieve that. Its own right. A little bit. 6 volt. Nothing here is getting hot. 7 volt. That's gone. Good. 6 volt. What is coming in? Oh. I only have 7 volts coming in. Is that switch really sucking down that much? Ooh. Let's see. Twelve volts coming into that. That really dropping the voltage by half? Holy shit. That is a lot of voltage drop over something so small. Shit. Let me check on Amazon. See if I just fucked that up. Looks like power is going through. So oh, looks like they're both supposed to be red? How about that? I guess let's try to bridge that. Those two look like they're supposed to be. Oh. LED light always on, LED light on when switching mode. That means that's hot when it shouldn't be, which isn't good. Okay. Interesting. Let's try it the way they want me to wire it and see what happens. Okay. No, I hooked it up the way they want me to. What garbage? Hmm. Supposed to be good to 5 amps. I'm not sure, but I know I'm not getting any voltage through. Put that on. I click that on. Put that on. We're getting 0 volts through the switch, which is a bit disappointing. So, fuse didn't break. I know I have 12 volts here, which is good. No volts going through that switch, which is not good. Let's turn this back on and give it one more shot tonight. We will replace that with another switch. Man, they gave us 5 because only one's good. Alright guys, I lost the camera there. This is locked in now. Glued that all in. So that can't go anywhere. Glued the fuse in. And I glued the potentiometer in. As good as I could have. I'm probably going to need to mess with that some more. I don't think I have speed control. But I do have on-off. I don't hear any ramp up. I think it's just going full tilt. Which, for what I'm doing right now, about all I need. That goes on there. No speed control. Just at 11 all the time. A little bit of vibration. Not the end of the world. That hole's pissing me off, but feels good to have a selector that doesn't do anything. But for now, glued that up too, poorly, but glued that up too. She's in. If I melt the glue, I can figure out what the hell's going on with this. It was working until we installed it. Like I said, for what I'm doing with it right now, I don't exactly need speed control. It might be nice in the future. I'm trying to figure out if this is warm because it's warm or because, I mean, honestly, I might just bypass this altogether and just clip this and go straight to the fan and just be done with it if this is warm because of something going wrong with the potentiometer and the circuitry, and not just because the hot glue takes an eternity to become cool. But I'll try that again tomorrow. This plate, computer fan should be able to go for months. Actually, probably not the worst case to have a hole there, so I got some air coming down now too. This is the biggest magnetic stirring rod I could get on Amazon. I had a whole set of them. No, those are those fucking things. And the day gets ruined for one thing, but I digress. If I ever want to replace the fan, still super easy to replace the fan in this, which is nice. Do that, I can do a whole nother electronics if I want to. So it's just magnets glued together, glued onto it. Nothing special about that. And it's a computer fan, so the real hope is that it can run and run and run and run and not really have any problems. Yeah, it's still warm, and I don't think that has anything to do with the potentiometer being warm. So that's just a really shitty on-off switch right now. Maybe I'll revisit that after I do what I'm supposed to do with this, which if I go grab it real quick, it's pretty good. Be right back. So the master game plan with this is to mix up hot sauce. This is some pepper sauce that I've been fermenting for 3 months now, maybe. I got some green and some red jalapeno sauce that I would like to cut with vinegar and make hot sauce out of. And you want to stir it for an obscene amount of time. That's what I wanted an electric stir plate for, was to make my pepper sauce. I didn't want to spend $50 on one when I could just spend a whole lot of time and frustration to make something that hopefully won't burn out as fast. And again, I will check this heat issue tomorrow when this glue cools down, because it still feels warm. Plugged in, unplugged, still feels warm. And too bad that doesn't fit in there. I went a little too crazy, but this is probably the stiffest box I could ever need to make sauce out of. And yeah, all right, that's it for this one. Very different, and I hope it's entertaining at least. And I'll show you guys the pepper sauce, I guess, one day when it gets made, or if this thing catches on fire or some shit like that. All right, that's it. See ya. Well, we're gonna call this take two. After a semi-frustrating and defeating initial setup, where I had one fan speed and no control over it, I went back like the good lot lizard I am to my master Jeff Bezos and bought more things. First, still pissed about these. These suck. Fuck you, Jeff. Second, didn't like that other thing I got. Don't know what the fuck it is. Useless. Gone. This board. This was garbage. If you want a link to that, it's in down below my affiliate links. Just kidding. Fuck you, Jeff. Still fuck you, Jeff. A little angry. But we have since upgraded to a PWM control board. This is a Smackwick, or I don't know what the hell the brand is. It's from China, but it looks like it's pretty good quality. I like it. It has two nice big heat sinks on the MOSFETs. I think there's a voltage regulator or something, but that's got a heat sink as well, which is nice. I had to hog it out in there. I had to cut away my stuff a little bit. I did that real roughneck style with a carbide burr. Really ate through that though, so that was pretty good. Soldered that on with the was heat to shrink and solder together fittings. And the piece de la resistance, because I need to still, I want this. I just want it. And I bought enough of them that they're terrible. Don't buy them because they cut your voltage. But I figured, let me buy a relay. And I found this relay that has a fuse in it, and I'm like, jackpot. Relay and fuse, perfect. This was a 30 that came with it. We're going to put the 3 back in it. And amazingly this time, before I glued everything together, I made sure it was still working. So, big plus to me on that one. Unfortunately, they didn't come in one fuse. I have 5 fuses. Or 5 relays. Don't need them. Whatever. Maybe I'll use them for something later. That's going to fit nicely there. That's going to get glued in. Going to have access to my fuse anyway, anytime that blows. Hopefully it never blows. But now that looks good up top still. We plug her in. We have fan. Woo! I guess he was touching. Fuck you, Jeff. Still don't know why the hell that's blue. I don't have it wired. Oh, big thing with these. These, unsurprisingly, are completely not wired the way that it says it's supposed to be wired. It says you're supposed to put the wire to the plus, and the fucking negative is over here. That's not true. These two that don't have a plus or minus on them are the actual switch. The plus and minus, that is solely for the LED in it, which clearly I didn't wire it exactly the way I wanted to, but that's fine. If it's off, it's off. If it's on, I'm going to hear the thing running, so I don't really need an on LED. Just nice to have one, knowing I have power connected to it, I guess. But now I'm happy with everything. Now I got to start gluing everything in. So let's plug this in first. And I need to really, really clean my bench. Things are not going well. I need more glue. But I'm pretty happy with the progress. I got fucked by a book salesman enough times to, I guess, learn my lesson, maybe. To keep going back to him and ask for more. But, you know what? Someone's got to sell those books. And who really got fucked by Jeff was those poor colleges. All those colleges that were selling all those books and making all that profit got hosed by that, man. I don't know what they're going to do. Regardless, I digress. No politics with this. I had to hog out a ton of material here. It's real nice, right? But we'll put a couple dabs of glue, get this thing set down. What is nice about it is got nice airflow now. I don't know if you can see down in there. So you're actually going to have fan cooling. This is actually going to be a cooled component because the air is going to blow through. I have the MOSFET set up to actually be where the fan's blowing air, which is nice. Or sucking. It's sucking air, but whatever. It's sucking it down. Pass that through there. It's the only real place for it to suck it down besides right here. So that's not bad. My glue's going already. All right. Let's get a bunch of glue down in there. I'll get you down. Alright guys, when the cameras are off, a dumb man did some dumb things. And I fully glued, the previous potentiometer in. There was definitely a hole in it. The glue was definitely viscous enough at that point because it was super nuclear to get in the thing. The rest of it looks really good though. So I had to do some surgery, splice in. I grabbed a second potentiometer, had to come in through the top, had to do surgery from the top portion of it. I'm going to make this little beautification ring. And we're going to glue it in again because, you know, we haven't fucking learned our lesson. We're going to use less glue this time. I would love to blame Jeff for this one too, but you know, sometimes Jeff's not at fault. Like right now. Jeff, please don't kick me off Amazon. I really need your stuff. Like a crackhead on there. Sounds good, but I just have no luck gluing shit. Well, one more try, off camera. Holy shit. I think we did it. This is a 50 ohm or 50 kilo ohm potentiometer. I had a 100 kilo potentiometer before. Yep, we're on. And I don't love my adjustability. It's not as good as it should have been. The 100 was perfect, but I fucked that one up too. But You see it pulse widthing. The good news is all the air is kicking out this way. I feel cold air coming out of here, which is great. There's a point there where the fan does not like it. That's probably max speed. It sounds just a lot better since I have that pushed in there. Still vibrates, not terribly. All the extra weights definitely helped it. So I'm definitely not getting as low as I was with the 100. With this 50, whatever I don't even know what it is at this point. I'm tired. But it's half what it was. I feel like I have half the adjustability. So I'm going from full speed to half speed. Which I'm not even sure what full speed is on this fan, or half speed. But definitely enough to spin sauce. So, yeah, sauce. That's what it's for, is spin sauce. So it's definitely enough to do that. Piece of metal on there. Button, I actually kind of like this button. It's nice. This ain't so bad. You know, if my heart's in it and I need the adjustability, I'll switch back to 100. A pot that has 100 on it. This pot's not great anyway, but it's good enough. Yeah, it's nice and not toasty. No great feel. Definitely worked it a little bit. It will slip out of its plastic thingy, which isn't ideal, but it is working. That's max. That's min. Set it probably on the lower side. Success, just 4 nights of work, and I showed him exactly what you can get for almost the same amount of money. Theirs is probably not this heavy or full of this much glue, but this is definitely a strong box at this point. Not much is gonna break that. Which, hey, the magnet is quite strong. I heard a lot of reviews, or when I was trying to read the reviews, the magnets were fairly weak on the cheap models. We're not in the expensive model territory yet, but we don't have heat either, so that's good. We're in like a mid-range that doesn't exist. It's nice and chunky. It's definitely full of basically 3D printed now with a handheld 3D printer. It's all potted. Nothing's ever getting to that. That's never coming out. This switch is never coming out again. That, I can still get that out from the top and rerun the wires through. It would be a nightmare, but we can do it. The fuse is great. Got to put a 3 amp back in it. Got to find what the hell I did with that. But it's great to have a fuse. It's great to be able to just pull the fuse and quickly install the fuse. That's not bad at all. And yeah, my beautiful wiring job. Say what you will, it's not a great wiring job, but it ain't gonna fail. I know that much. It ain't gonna fail. None of these wires are gonna overheat because these are way thick for what we're doing, especially with a 3 amp fuse in it. These wires might cook out, but I think the whole fan would cook out by then. And I'll see how far this Foxconn fan can bring me. I mean, it's sat in some kind of shitty computer for a very long time. Just probably constantly working, and we'll see if I can get a month out of this thing. And I guess if I ever update this video, it will be with some hot sauce made. Alright guys, this was very different. Sorry to waste so much of your time if you stuck through this and don't care about this. But we'll have some, I guess, more regularly scheduled content soon. And yeah, that's it for now. See ya.